Welcome back to Finca Cortesín here in Spain. I am at the Jack Nicklaus Academy of Golf on their putting green, and this is the second video in the series dispelling some of the myths that surround putting. So welcome back to Finca Cortesín here in Spain. I'm currently at the Jack Nicklaus Academy of Golf on their fantastic putting green, talking about some putting myths that can really hold you back in terms of your performance out on the golf course. We're going to cover 5 myths in this video series. Video 1 covered something in the setup. I will link that in the corner if you haven't seen that. And today we're talking about another myth which surrounds putting. The myth is that in a good putting stroke, there is no wrist action. And yes, this is a myth. We have now got the ability to measure the best putters in the world, and we tend to find that there is some wrist action across these putters. It's not huge, don't get me wrong, it's not as much as there is in a bunker shot, but there is some wrist action. The worry is if we get golfers out there trying to really limit their wrist action, we find that they don't have a lot of feel in the putting stroke. They don't have a lot of sensation through their hands, they don't really sense the putter. Their pace control becomes difficult, their strike isn't particularly accurate, and obviously if we struggle with pace and strike, we're never going to get that ball close. So all too often I'll see golfers where they're maybe taking a starting position and they're aware that there should be no wrists, or they believe there should be no wrists, and so they strangle the golf club, and what that means is they end up making this jerky stroke and they really struggle with pace control. So I was actually going for that second flag down there, and you can see that pace is nowhere near. Now, we've only got to listen to some of the best in the world. You've listened to Tiger Woods and saying he likes to feel the putter releases. That's something that he's spoken about right through his career. We also see him making practice putting strokes with just his right wrist, feeling that putter and feeling a little bit of release. So we really need to make sure that the wrists and the grip pressure is in such a way that we're enabling those wrists to move by a small amount. And we're talking very much about these longer putts. Certainly on a 2 to 3 foot putt, we wouldn't see much movement. So I really want you to do this little exercise. Take your grip and just hold the golf club out in front of you, so you can see how the club shaft is about parallel to the ground. And I just want you to reduce your grip pressure until you feel as if the putter head is going to just drop below your hands. Okay, if I was to relax too much, obviously it drops a lot further. So I'm just relaxing my grip pressure until that putter drops just below my hands. That's how much pressure I want to have in my grip. So I'm going to take that pressure and drop down, and for many of you that will feel a lot lighter. Now, because my grip pressure is lighter and the putter's moving, a fair distance back and through, there will be a small amount of wrist action. The key thing, I wouldn't really want you to try and add it in. It's more a case of the grip pressure being correct, being more relaxed through the upper body and the shoulders, and then as the putter's moving back and forth, there's a little bit of play, a little bit of give in those wrists, as opposed to you actually standing there and physically trying to, move the putter back and forth. So I'm going to take my starting position, get myself nice and relaxed with that grip pressure, and allow those wrists to have a little bit of movement as I change direction. And is it going to hit that with the ball? Okay, let's get those back and have another go. So now we've got no obstacles. Let's have a go and see if we can get this putt pretty close. So the key thing is relaxed in my shoulders and my arms, grip pressure is correct, and as the putter changes direction, there'll probably be a little bit of movement in those wrists. It should go a little bit right towards the end. And I reckon that's about a roll short of dropping in. So, but for this distance, I'll be very, very happy with that. And like I said a moment ago, I wasn't trying to move the wrists, but I reckon if we were to use the technology out there now and we were to measure, there would be a little bit of movement. It helps with rhythm, helps with timing, and it hugely helps with pace control. So if you're someone out there really struggling with the pace of your putts, especially these 20 to 30 feet putts, really important that you start to control the grip pressure and start to control those wrist angles. The other drill that we spoke about, and this is a fantastic one for you to do as well, would be the one-handed drill. So as I take my setup as normal, I'm going to take my lead hand off, I'm just going to use my trail hand, and it's amazing how much more we can feel the putter head when we just use one hand as opposed to two. That's a little firmer, and that's just caught the left lip. So one-handed drill is fantastic. Grip pressure drill here, that's going to give us a really good sensation of how hard to hold the putter. Do those things, don't try and lock those wrists in place, that's the real killer, and that's really going to rob you of that distance control that we need when we're putting. Right, thank you very much for watching. Huge thanks to Finca Courtesin in this Golf Academy here for letting me have access to the course and the Academy putting green to film these videos for you. Make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the series, covering some other myths that surround putting. If we can get these out of your head, you're definitely going to hole some more putts, reduce those 3 putts and lower the scores. Thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below.